Welcome. Hi, in this video, I'm going to show you how to become more magnetic, how to attract what you want in life. Attract it to yourself like you're a magnet. We're going to get into this. How to attract what you want and how to not repel the things that you want. Also, I'm going to show you how putting things on a pedestal is not the best idea. Because when we idealize things too much and put them on a pedestal, it's like it pushes it further away from you. So we're going to look at that. We're going to break it down. Another thing I'm going to show you is how to get closer to a spiritual connection with your soul, with the present moment, with God. How can we do this? How can we get closer to that? So join me and we're going to get into this. I'm going to break down those three things and it's going to be fun. We're going to have a good time. Join me. Let's do this. All right. So let's get into that whole idea of putting things on a pedestal. Like, what is that about? Like, why do people do that? Why do we do this? Like, oh, I want that thing so bad. And in the wanting of that thing, you're distancing yourself by putting it way up there on a pedestal. So, and the more you put something on a pedestal, the more you want it. You're like, oh, it looks so great up there on that high mountain, that pedestal. I want it even more now because it's way up there. But in a way, you participated in, you're the one that put it up there on that mountain, on that pedestal, so far away. And the more you idealize something, the further away it gets from you. So, and the harder it gets to attain because it's way up there. It's like, say it's on a 10-foot like pole. You can't reach it now. It's gone. It's out of your reach. You're going to climb the pole? So just don't put things on the pedestal, right? So, what does putting things on pedestal do? Well, one, it creates distance between you and the item that you are trying to get or achieve or attain. You're creating extra importance. You're putting extra importance on that item, right? You're not seeing it how it is clearly in reality. You're adding value to it by putting it up there, right? Also, by creating extra importance and putting it on a pedestal, you're creating this distance, and this distance creates a needy vibe. Like you need it more now because you're putting it way up there. And of course, what does a needy vibe do? It's repellent, right? It's like the opposite of magnetic, and what you want is magnetic, not repellent or needy. So when you put things on a pedestal, it creates a neediness, more desire. So what can we do about this? Okay, I have a story. Interesting story. This is a long time ago. I was like maybe 20, 21 or whatever. And there was this one girl in my town, my hometown. She was beautiful, so beautiful. And I think me and my brother were both like, wow, she is beautiful. This one beautiful blonde girl, lady. And I saw her around town a few times here and there. She lived around the area where I lived, I think. And at the time, anyway, downtown in a small town or small city. And I saw her several times, and I was like, wow, what a beauty, like a true beauty. And I saw her at the bar one time, and I was hanging out at the bar, and I was like, worked up the courage to say hi to her, right? But she was already on that pedestal, you know? I already put her on that pedestal, like, this girl is perfect, amazing, beautiful, like way too high on the pedestal. And I was like, well, I'll just go talk to her. Let's see where this goes. And so I went to say hi to her at the bar. And, probably 30 seconds into me talking to her, some guy showed up and he's like, I got free shots. Or I think he worked for the bar. And he was giving away free something, and of course, me being young and naive and talking to a beautiful girl, they get approached and talked to constantly by people, especially if they're in a bar, right? And so it threw me off, and I got like angry about it. Like this guy was trying to stop me from talking to this girl, or I don't know what I thought, but I got like angry. I was like, got pissed off a little bit. And of course that it, you ruined the whole interaction. And it was just like, from that point on, it was done. It was done before it even started. And I would see her around town and be like, oh man, I screwed that one up. But I mean, I was a kid. I was like 20, around 20, 19 maybe, 20, somewhere around there. So when you're putting things on a pedestal too much, it creates your nervous system is not jiving with what you want. It creates a different vibe. Your nervous system has a different vibe than what you want. So that also creates further distance from you, and that what you want is the same nervous system that's on the same level, so that the vibrations are more equal, so that they jive really well, right? So that's another reason to not put something on a pedestal. Is it screws up your nervous system and creates like agitation, and you're not going to be in sync with it at all. You're over here and there over here, or whatever. You're all over the place. You want to be more in sync, right? So that's one story. I have other stories. Let's see. Okay, so this is a counter story, so for the counterpoint. So me and my buddy went around the same time, maybe a few years later. Me and my buddy were bar hopping. We're just having fun. We had no plans. We weren't trying to do anything in specific. We were planning on having a good time. We were going to bars and bar hopping. And our main goal, I think, for the night, the consensus was, we are just going to enjoy ourselves and just have fun. We're going to just have fun with life, and that's it. Like, that is our only goal. We're not getting sidetracked. We're just going to have fun and meet people. But the main goal was just, we're having fun. We're enjoying ourselves. We're just going to enjoy ourselves and meet people. But the main goal was to enjoy ourselves. So here we are hanging out, we're laughing, smiling, and just like something ridiculous happened, and we're just like, this is hilarious. This is awesome. We're just laughing and having a great time. And what do you know? Lo and behold, beautiful ladies started approaching and talking to us, coming up to us and talking. And so that's like the opposite of putting things on a pedestal. And when you put things on a pedestal, you repel them in a way, right? So we were becoming magnetic, because it was about, we were there to enjoy ourselves, and that created a good vibe, a magnetic vibe, because people want to be around other people that are enjoying themselves, that are smiling, having fun, and such, right? You become very magnetic when you, joy is very magnetic, right? Very magnetic. So this one beautiful lady, she comes up and she's just like, "Who are you guys? We have to be friends. When are we gonna hang out?" Like, and not friends in the just friends idea, not that kind of friends, but the friends where it's like, we're hanging out. Like, who are you guys? You look so much fun. Like, we need to hang out. Can we please be friends? And she tells me this. I'm like, yeah, sure. If you want, we could probably hang out. You know, why not? So it's all about the vibe. Okay, so this is we're jumping to another sort of topic. So when you were a kid, did you get all of your needs met? Right? Obviously, most of us didn't, because that's parenting is just it's a. I think I've never done it, but I think it's a massive job, right? It's very difficult. So we didn't all get our needs met. What are the main needs? I don't know exactly, but if you didn't get your main needs met, you feel a lack in life that you'll kind of pursue forever. So another idea there is, did you play the mediator when you were a kid? Like, were there adults that were you walking on eggshells around adults, controlling or abusive or moody, that you felt that in order to get love from your parents, which is one of those basic needs, you need love and attention. But did you feel like you had to mediate their mood in order to receive love? Like, did you do that as a child? Did you have to do something in order to get appreciation, love, and attention? So if you played the mediator a lot as a child, that can create a negative pattern of what they call people pleasing. So here we go again, full circle. People pleasing patterns in your life. If you have those types of patterns, I definitely do. You are putting other people's approval on a pedestal, right? Other people's approval is up here. So in order for you, to get what you want, which is their approval, you have to mediate and you have to attend to their emotional needs and help them feel good all the time, and kind of mediate everyone and be looking around constantly to be like, oh, is everyone in a good mood? And if they're not, I need to do something to mediate the situation in order to get their approval or to get their love. It's a pattern that you learn in childhood, right? So how do we break this pattern? That's a good question. And it's one of those questions something I'm definitely working on. Yeah, so let's get into that. Excuse me. I have a cold, so don't mind me. My throat's a little bit off. So one thing you can do is you can practice sitting in the idea of being okay when people around you are freaking out. You're angry? All right. That's okay. That's not my business. That's fully your business. For me personally, I'll be like, oh, I got to do something to fix the situation. But no, you don't have to do anything to fix the situation, because then you're putting them on a pedestal by doing that. So you gotta sit in the idea of you're angry or you're emotional and messed up. That's okay. I'm okay with that. I'm going to stay grounded in my own body. So sit with that. Like, try to, when you're around emotional people that are really messed up or angry or whatever, instead of trying to fix them, stay in your body. Try to be grounded in your body. Be like, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I'm going to be me. You do you. I'm going to do me. And just try that. Try the next time someone's freaking out, just let them be. That's their issue. That's their job. They're tending to their own emotional issues is their job. It's not your job, right? You'll probably feel like oh, like I have to fix this situation, right? But just don't. Just you do you. Tend to yourself. Try to feel grounded in your own body. Feel your breath, feel your stomach, feel your chakras, feel one of your lower chakras, and just breathe, you know. Get into your body. Just be okay with being yourself as you are. You don't need to please people or mediate other people's emotions in order to get love and approval from them. In fact, if you are a people please, not if you are a people please, if you tend to fall into that pattern more often than not, the problem is you're pushing people up onto a pedestal, and that creates it's the opposite of magnetism, right? You're becoming repellent. So you think, oh, if I fix this situation, everything will be all good. But no, it's actually the opposite, where you are becoming repellent by fixing the situation. Magnetic is you being okay with yourself and not trying to fix anyone. Just being calm and centered in your body, in your frame, in your body. Confidence in yourself, confidence in your own state of being, right? Okay, so next topic. This is slightly different. Yeah, so stay centered in yourself. Don't try to fix people. You're not responsible for their feelings. I mean, I'm not saying you can be a jerk. I'm saying people have their own feelings and you're not responsible for their feelings. Just that one phrase. You're not responsible for someone else's feelings. And again, I'm not saying you can do whatever you want without consequences. Absolutely not. If you're a jerk, that person has the right to never talk to you again if you're a massive jerk. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about someone else freaks out for whatever reason. Another thing you could apply to this too is saying no or setting boundaries. When you say no and set boundaries, a lot of people will fight you on that, and they will freak out. And then don't go and try to fix them. That's they own that. That's for them. They own that. Okay. Okay, so now this can apply to when you are trying to get closer to the Zen state, or you're striving for a deeper spiritual connection to your soul, to God, to the present moment, to life, to the oneness with all the ultimate reality in all of life. When you're striving to get into flow state, flow state is like sports, when you're playing sports and you slide into a state where you're not thinking at all and you're just on. I used to play a lot of soccer when I was a kid, and you get into a state where your mind is it just calms down and it stops bombarding you, and you're totally in the zone, and you're not thinking, I'm going to try to be good at soccer. It's just happening through you. You're in that flow state, and it just feels so good. You're just running and moving and passing the ball, and you're just in the zone. So that zone, the flow state, is the same as being in the Zen state of mind, or being in the present moment, or being in the awakened state of mind, or tasting oneness of reality. Everything is one. So you're tasting that. You're not separate from it. There's no thought stream separating you from everything else. And if you look into it, it's really interesting. Is there a clear line separating you from you and everything else? The more you look into it, even scientifically, the line gets blurrier and blurrier and blurrier. Like the air that you're breathing in is nourishing your body, right? And if you stop breathing, you'll be gone in a few minutes. So that air is you. You actually are that air. Without it, you don't exist, right? So you are that air. And the person 5 feet away from you is breathing the same air. Or the tree next to you is breathing the same air. So they are also that air. So the line between you and them is way thinner than you think it is. Anyway, it's some food for thought, right? So when you are trying really hard to get into the present moment, I think I might have talked about this earlier. You're trying to attain or taste the state of the present moment. You're putting it on a pedestal when you're trying really hard. It's more of a relaxing into what you already own and what you already have deep inside your core. Deep inside your core, we are connected to God. And we are whole and perfect, deep inside your core. There just happens to be a lot of stuff kind of covering and seemingly separating us from everything else, everyone else, and the ultimate reality, the oneness of everything. The thought stream, your ego, ego structures of the mind, all the things you've accumulated as what you think you are, all your opinions and all your achievements and your failures, that's the ego, right? All of the things you've learned. And then also there's karma, which is an energy that can weigh you down. There's trauma, which is something else that can weigh you down and separate you from, kind of hold you back from experiencing the bliss of the moment. Then there's ancestral trauma, which is another thing. You could also exchange the word ancestral. Oh, hold on. I'm back. Amazon delivery. I'm just going to keep going with this because I'm pretty much done anyway, so I'll just wrap it up. So what I'm saying is you're trying to achieve or slide into the present moment, putting that on a pedestal, that pushes it away from you. So instead of pushing it away, you want to be a magnet to attract it to you. And one of the ways that you can do this is just, instead of trying really hard, creating the distance, you want to relax into it and just vibe into it and relax into it. Instead of a striving, it's a relaxing. Because when you're striving too hard, you're creating more thought structure, right? You're creating more desire. You're idealizing something, which is even more thought structure. And what's one of the things that separates you? It's your thought structure, your layers and layers of thoughts. So in the desiring and the idealizing, you're just creating more distance. It's crazy. It's interesting. So it's more of a taking away the thought structure and the thoughts and relaxing into what you already kind of have in a way. And meditation can be good for that. Also, just hanging out in nature can be good for that too. I found that like walking really slowly in a beautiful park on a beautiful day, it can be more effective than a lot of really good meditations. You just sit or you walk very slowly, or you sit and you look at nature, look at the sunset. Excuse me. So, yeah, I'll leave you with that. And have a wonderful day. Peace. Namaste. And like and subscribe if you got any good value out of this. I'll see you another time. Bye.